Nancy, the refund process, how your members finding that? Is the money flowing? Are brokers equipped to handle the volume of claims? Are they charging fair fees? Are members getting consistent advice, or are they finding conflicting guidance out there? I mean, I could ask more questions, but I think that's plenty for going on with.
Yeah, let's start. So far they say the system is working. None of them have received a refund. And so they're spending, it takes, as Karen said, it's complicated. That system is complicated because you have so many items involved in a movement. I mean, it's a lot of paperwork to move freight. And so if your paper is not quite in order, then that takes it that much longer. What's also frustrating and time consuming right now is telling your customers are all over them. When am I getting my share? When am I getting my share? Well, first we got to get my share. And then you have the problem of if you use brokers and you didn't use the same broker through the whole time you were moving freight, it's a nightmare paperwork wise. So a lot of shippers do use brokers, as you know. It is complicated. I'm very anxious to see when somebody receives a refund. Like I'm kind of ready to celebrate. But they said May 11th and 12th was going to begin when the cash was actually going to be received. But none of my members thus far have got the cash.
Of individual shippers, do they actually know what they're entitled to, or is that
Yeah.
a sort of
Yes.
question mark for a lot of them?
Well, maybe it's a shot at the dark, but I think they know what they're expecting. And then there's also the interest on the money that they lost. So that can also really impact their budget because the budgets are all hurting from all of this. So that's going to be interesting to see if we get the full interest from the time that it started and the time the money was let go. I don't know, Karen, what are you hearing? My members, they can do the system. It's time consuming, but then your paperwork better be in complete order.
Yeah, it has to be in order, and I, did have some clients that received their first refunds today.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Yay. Okay, well, we can celebrate that. Let's celebrate. One got one, right?
So,
Mhm.
Karen, for importers who are struggling to refund to navigate all this process, then I mean, there's all these classification questions,
Mhm.
documentation. We've touched on another few things there. I guess your advice is contact me, is it?
Surprisingly, it's not.
Oh.
Although I'm happy to help, they can contact me. I think my advice is twofold. First of all, if you're struggling with your broker, they're not communicating or you think they're taking an unfair share of your refund,
Mhm.
it's time to go look for a new broker. It's not just about these refund processes. Remember what we said before, things are about to get even more complicated than they already are now. So you need a good partner, right? You need a buddy, somebody by your side that's going to help you through all of this. Um, and then, secondly, I would say that folks can certainly file for these refunds themselves. There are many customs brokers and forwarders out there that are providing value added support, that have training tools, that are doing one on one sessions, like myself, right, to help. So reach out to folks that are willing to walk side by side with you and give you a hand.
Mike, just to add to that, there were, from what I understand, 11 million entries were submitted. So I'm thinking this is going to take some time. I mean, AI and everything is great, but that's a lot of work. And as we know, most of our agencies are underfunded and underemployed. So,
Good point.
and for CBP is one of them. They lost a lot of the very much high talent, and so even when these rules come down, they have to be able to explain it, and some of them have got no experience in this. So it's been interesting to work with them on this as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Karen, how many of these are you dealing with? Not all 11 million, presumably.
Not, thankfully, not all 11 million,
Right?
because I like to eat and sleep sometimes too. But I would say at this point, I have helped just over 50 importers. And these are folks who are getting back anywhere between $1,000 and one importer $91 million. And to a person, to Nancy's earlier point, this is their top priority, right?
Mhm.
This is their chance to regain the ground they lost over the last year. Super important, and folks are laser focused on it.
Did you just say $1,000 to 91 million?
I
That's sort
did.
of quite that's quite a big range, right? So,
It
uh,
is.
What is there a common theme with this, Karen? You mentioned data earlier. Is that one of the challenges when you're trying to work out? It's not just about what's owed, right? It's about the information that underpins it.
Yeah, absolutely. Having access to the right information. I've done a lot of work in this space, also auditing companies' entries to help them prep for this, look for risks and opportunities. And I haven't yet reviewed a company's entries and found one where there weren't significant over and or underpayments. One company had overpaid the tariffs by a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
These tariffs are just too complex for importers, brokers software packages to get right every single time. And importers need help to get it right so they don't leave money on the table.
Yeah, no, I did see. I think it's a Gaia Dynamics report. We'll put this up on the screen actually, if you're on Spotify or YouTube. That examined over 300,000 line items. I found that roughly a third of entries contained discrepancies. So, I mean, that's the dollar impact then's running into tens of millions.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got overpayments, underpayments, often with the same importer's data. So it's more than a refund exercise, isn't it? I mean, I think people maybe listening in from around the world are going, okay, well, they paid this much and then they get this much back. But it's not, it's way beyond that. It's far more complex, especially if you're thinking about underpayments. That's going to be a bit of a shock to anyone. Nancy, are your members on top of this risk now, do you think?
I would say for the most part, yes. We have all size shippers, but we do have a majority of larger shippers, and I haven't heard any complaints about getting through it, just hoping to get their money back. And I think Karen mentioned the stack problem. I think some folks may not understand the stacking properly in this refund. And I think that's there. Some are going to lose money on this, I think, especially if you did it quickly. And I mean, everybody was trying to do it quickly so they got their money back. But this is one of those exercises I think I would have taken a little bit more time before I put my data in, but we'll see. So far, so good. So far, so good.